Greetings, this is your instructor, Norm Reese. I'm going to give you a little tour of the discussions, how to post to the discussions. The very first discussion is called human multitasking, and we're going to take a look at the evidence out there, and there's quite a lot of it. It talks about to what degree we're able to do that, to actually multitask in the different types of tasks that we try to do at the same time. So there will be 3 discussions. That's the first one. There will be 2 more, and they will be presented in a 4-week period. So they'll be available in the first week, and then in the fourth, at the end of the 4th week, you need to have it in order to get your on-time points. If you don't get it in that 4-week period, you can still post them through the 15th week in the class. At the end of the 15th week, the 16th and 17th weeks, I'll be grading them. So try to get them in, or you won't get credit. And not doing one of these really hurts your grade, or several of them will hurt them even more. So that because they're 100 points each, so that's 300 points out of, I think it's 2,030 points total. So, well, let's take a look at how you access these. First thing you do is you go to the modules, and you'll see that in the modules you'll have access to the discussions. So just click on that. Here we are. The first paragraph will give you a little background into the topic, not extensive, but you're going to do some of that yourself. Some of that you'll pick up from watching 2 or 3 videos or articles, whatever I think it gives you the best broad overview. So some of the questions you'll be able to answer, partially at least, from this information here. You are going to have to do some research, and you need to provide 2 sources. None of those sources can be the things that you read in here. You can use these as long as you cite them and reference them, but they can't be your 2 sources, and neither can a video. I don't want videos to be your sources. They need to be articles. So you need to do a little research and try to do your best diligence to come up with quality sources. What's a quality source? A quality source is something like Scientific American Mind. I don't require, and I don't really want you to have peer-reviewed sources unless you can find some that have a language and content that is readable by your average community college student. Otherwise, we're just providing stuff that most people can't get through, because it's very high level and very precise, narrow topics in peer-reviewed sources. So the 2 sources you're going to come up with need to be cited and referenced when you use them in your essay. Now, that's your initial post is an essay about this topic. You're going to be answering typically 3 questions, not absolutely 3, but typically some of them will have more than 1 question in 1 question. You need to add these to your essay. So typically there'll be like 3 paragraphs, fairly long paragraphs, without the numbers, but with at the head of each paragraph these questions in italics. So then we'll know exactly when and what your answer will be to those questions. Requirements and due dates. The initial essay needs to be 500 words at a minimum. That's about a 1.25 pages, double-spaced. The replies to others, there will be 3 of those at a minimum, are 125 words in length. All 4 posts for 1 discussion would be your essay and 3 replies to others, and those together are 100 points. So it'd be 70 points for the essay and 10 each for each reply. They don't get graded until you have all 4 posts, or the time runs out, and then we'll grade whatever you've done. December 5th is the date in which all of the posting windows, I'll show you those in a minute, will be closed and the discussions will be closed, because that gives me 2 weeks to do all the grading, and I typically need that. If you don't know how to provide citations and references, if you don't know anything about that, what that is giving credit to the author's words that you're using, either paraphrasing or quotations. Quotations, it says here, should be kept to a minimum, no more than 3. It should be kept short, no more than 2 sentences long. So we don't want an essay full of quotations, because that's somebody else's words. Please use your spell checker and proofread your work. So what you're going to do is you're going to write your essay and then cut and paste that essay from your own word processor into this submission window here. You're going to open that submission window by hitting this reply button, which is at the very bottom of the instructions. So what you're actually doing is replying to my post with your essay. So you're going to label your essay, Multitasking Essay by Alexander Hamilton. As an example, this is my essay and I'm sticking to it. So these will all be filled out, of course. So you want to make your essay, your initial post, and then you can come back later when 3 more people have made their essay posts and make a reply to them. So you're going to give them a little critique in 125 words minimum about their essay. Don't talk about the writing abilities. I'm going to be talking about that, and that'll be plenty. So stick to the content, and don't just say, I like everything you said here. It really reminds me of what I said, because that doesn't take much skill to come up with a statement like that. What you need to do is get some nicely phrased criticism, constructive criticism. In essence, you're saying, I like what you did here. I differ with your opinion here, and then tell them why. That's constructive criticism. When you're ready to do a reply, you come down here to the bottom of someone's essay, hit their reply button right here, and that will open up this window, which you will type in your reply. You need to label that a reply. Reply to Multitasking Essay by Alexander Hamilton, and then you're going to hit the, let's say we're replying to Sally Goodness's essay, right? So we're going to hit the reply button here, type in our essay. This is the typical word processor in Canvas. So you're going to do your own word processor typically, write your essay, and then paste it into this window here. And you might have to clean it up because Canvas's word processor is not quite as sophisticated as Word, for example, which, by the way, you can get free from Butte College, and I'll show you how to do that in one of the announcements. If you haven't got it, if you're a new student, you can get the entire Microsoft Word Office suite, Office 360 they call it, for free, as long as you're a student. It's got its own spell checker in it, and you're going to need to spell check. If you don't know anything about citing and referencing, this is as good a time as any to learn. So if you don't, you can click on this link right here, Writing Tools and Tutorials, which is also found on the home page of this course, and that will take you to, a page that gives you short tutorials on how to do this. You have your choice of APA and MLA styles. Take your pick. MLA is probably a little simpler. APA is supposedly for psychology students, but I like the style better myself, but it doesn't matter which one you use. So if you watch 2 or 3 of these videos, that usually should get you situated on that. Once in a while, you're going to run into something called a citation within a citation, or a secondary source citation, as it's called. And when that happens, you're looking in an article that talks about 7 or 8 different studies that were done, and you want to quote something out of one of those studies that was cited in that article. So you have 2 authors to give credit to. You have the author of that article and the author of a particular study in that article that was cited in that article. So you need to give credit to both of those. And this will tell you how to do that. What you're going to do is just use a parenthetical citation, like here's one right here. Nash quoted in Smith 24. So that would be the study that you found in the article was the article about the study itself was written by Nash, and the article that cited that study was written by Smith, and you need to give both of those people credit. And so this takes care of that, and then you need down in your references, you need only to provide the article that it was cited in. So that would be Smith. You don't need to provide a separate listing in the reference list. If none of this makes any sense to you, you definitely need to read and study up on this page here. Also, this at the very top of this page, it says writing format and requirements. This is an excerpt from your syllabus, which show you the particular writing requirements for this class specifically. And it gives you a short introduction to what citations and references are about, and quotations, and here's what a typical reference listing looks like. So this is a good place to start, is to read this and then brush up. Probably wouldn't hurt for everybody to brush up on these tutorials here. They're very, very short, very well done. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. If you have any questions, give me a call or send me a message in Canvas. You should be using only those two forms to communicate with me. Click on this inbox right here to send me a message. I don't know if I did that, if I explained that part, but if you're brand new to that, click on that inbox, then you pick your course right here, Fall 21, and then you click on this little icon right here to start your message. From there, it's pretty self-explanatory, and hit the send button. All right, that pretty much covers it. We'll see you in class.